I've decided to do an onboard water system, kind of a really quick, easy, and cheap one actually, Thrifty. So what I've got here is some hose that I bought at basically Home Depot or whatever. I had an old shower hose that to a shower head that's no longer of use. The shower head went bad. I bought this really cheap. I guess it's an on-demand. You kind of call it an RV pump. They're like $11 is all, so makes it pretty thrifty. And then I had to get a few connectors and stuff like that. So the theory is that I'm going to be using it with my Aquatainer, and I'm going to have it in this milk crate because Aquatainers do have a little bit of a history of having kind of weak corners. So basically I'll have a feeder pipe going down in the hole here, seal that off, and then I'm going to mount the pump on the side here, and then from the pump I'll have some hose going, and put a sprayer head on the shower head part of it. So it's pretty simple, quick and easy. I purposely bought one of the lowest amounts. I guess it's the lowest powerful pump that is the kind of the least amount of water flow, because there's some of them that'll do like 2 gallons per minute, and at that rate I'd go through this 7 gallons in a couple 3 minutes. So that's not really what I'm after. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more thrifty with water, and it's mostly going to be for like washing dishes. I may wash my body, hair, or whatever. Since I don't have the heater on this and we have a separate shower, I won't use it really for showers, just for other everyday use around the camp. I already had the Aquatainer, so it's just a matter of buying the few parts that I've got here. Alright, so it's super quick. I just drilled 4 holes and ran some bolts, kind of rounded head on the other end so it doesn't scrape into the Aquatainer. Through that, this is all mounted. I've got a piece of the 3/8 inch tubing that's going to go up to the top, just using regular hose clamps. Now for up here, I did have to, because I wanted to do 5/8 inside, 3/4 inch outside, that goes down into the Aquatainer, because then it'll fill the hole a lot better, and I won't have splashing or leaking or dust getting in. But so I couldn't find anywhere at the hardware stores that would do from 5/8 to 3/8, so I kind of had to make it doing this method. So then this is going to go on here, and then this will go. I have an elbow to go down into the tank with the tubing that's going to go down there. Of course, the tubing comes all curled up, so then it doesn't go straight down into my Aquatainer. So I got a rod. I think it was just something I had sitting around, and I'm just now heating it up to kind of straighten the tubing for me. Alright, I'll show you kind of the final product here. So basically it's just a standard Aquatainer. I've got this it's like a 1.5 foot tube or so of 5/8 inch inside, 3/4 inch outside tubing, and then I also have up underneath here basically I guess you call it an O-ring, hoping that it helps a little bit with splashing, because it's not quite, there's a little bit of play left in the hole there, so I have another O-ring on top just to kind of help for any splashing or any dirt getting in. So from there I have a plastic elbow, because I didn't want a big loop coming up out of here. I wanted it to be pretty tight. And then from that I have a piece of that same tubing that goes into a converter that basically to get from the 5/8 inside to the 3/8 inside that the pump itself needed. So there might be, I guess, another way to do it is to have this 3/8 inch tubing just go straight into the in here, and have more O-ring or something like that that'll kind of seal a little bit and kind of skip a little bit of this. This was a couple of dollars worth of parts. So then down here I ended up mounting the actual pump itself a little bit further over than I originally had it, just so that there's room for this tube to kind of come down straight. And then from there it's just I bought this 3/8 inch inside tubing from Home Depot. It was about $10. I looked, you can't even get it any cheaper on Amazon. So the Home Depot stuff, it's in the area where you get like the sink sprayers and stuff like that. And then from there I just kept what I needed this piece for sure, just to get into here and to come out of here, but but I kept the length that I have now just in case I have another need for it in the future, and I run it along my bed in there. And then I did buy it's a converter from that 3/8 inside to a 1/2 inch screw, so because I had this extra old, I guess you call it's a shower hose for a removable shower head, and then I went to that because this is a little bit more flexible and easier to deal with. And then at the other end is a a 1/2 inch to, I can't remember what that's called. It's the hose bib, 3/4 inch, basically for an outside hose bib. And then I just bought a $3 Walmart sprayer at this point. There's pros and cons to this. You do have to use a hand to get it to spray, so then you're kind of doing things one-handed. I might look into ways to either change this out, so if I ever wanted to use this a little bit more as a shower, change this out so it can be hung and easily turned on and off. The only other thing I did really was just temporarily I went ahead and just wired one of these tips on here because I have a cigarette lighter adapter that can just plug into this right now. I kind of wanted to get things all flushed out before I did, and I'm gonna do some wiring in the bed itself, and I wanted to do all that before I kind of did the final wiring on this. So that's the basics on here, not a whole lot here. If I wanted more water along, I can take a second Aquatainer. I actually have one, an old more beat up one, and I could take that, and then I just unscrew this, pop that out, pop another Aquatainer in here, or any other water could just be dumped into this Aquatainer if you needed more than 7 gallons. This last trip I took, 3 people used. I used it some for cleaning. I washed my hair a couple of times and did a little bit of body washing with it, and then 3 people took quick showers, and that was all in this 7 gallons, and it was pretty much drained at that point. So if you take a Navy shower, you can kind of get quite a bit out of it, and it was warm enough that just taking the water out of here sufficed versus having to have it heated. I've been kind of contemplating what to do about that. One option would be to dump, I don't know, get some almost boiling water and dump some boiling water into here, and warm this up some. It would depend on how much water is in here versus how much you dump in boiling water to how much it would warm up. And we already have a shower that it's a propane heated shower that we can use as well, so that it wasn't important for me to get this as a shower. It was mostly for washing my hair maybe in the morning, and body washing and dishes and things like that. So this is my onboard water system in the truck. I've used it for one trip so far. I basically just have it in that milk crate setting in here with the cinch strap. You can see the motor is right down there, the pump. I had just run the 3/8 inch tubing down the bed, and it made it so that I had the spray nozzle and then the tubing here. So we actually had pulled it out quite a ways and used it for showers and so forth. So it worked really great. I'll do a more permanent setup for it whenever I get everything done and wired. Okay, I'll just show you basically how much this sprays. So it's got there's like 8 or 9 feet of the original 3/8 inch hose on here, plus the shower hose, and then I just got a regular garden hose end on it, so I can choose different sprays. So here you can see it shoots a ways. Here's the jet version right here. So it's got plenty of pressure, and it's rated for like 1 gallon a minute, and that's a great plenty. I wouldn't want it to use a whole bunch more. All right, so I'm about 2 feet from the actual pump itself, so you can hear how loud it is. There's a little bit of sound. There's no 2 ways around that, but it's not bad. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe. We'll see you on the trail.